not doing the intro though, are we?
You
Are we
see
doing
his
the
face,
intro?
he's like,
I thought we're going straight in. We're going straight in. Do you know? Keep that. Do you know? Keep it rolling, man. Damn, you lot just threw me straight under the bus, man.
You need to put
Listen,
the down, right?
listen. Thank you for coming. This is Seems Legit. This is myself, Sean. You got my cousin Wanda here. You got lovely Simi here, just throwing your boy under the bus. We're gonna jump straight in, you know, because yeah, I wasn't prepared, as you could probably tell. But what we're gonna do
That's
is
what happens when you turn up late.
Yeah.
this is what happens when you turn up a little bit late. A little bit. But we're gonna jump straight in. We're gonna jump straight into a Nuke's top 5 video that I've selected. Gonna take a look at it. You guys are gonna see it, and yeah, let's see what everybody thinks about this. Let's get it going.
So, it's kind of become a bit of a trend in TikTok dance videos these days for someone to post a dance and then there's some spooky shadow or something in the background. It's gotten to the point that I usually just don't feature those videos. But many viewers sent in this next clip, and I have to say, it's pretty damn creepy. TikTok user Mary Liz9 records a short dance video in an empty parking lot for fun. But things take a very strange turn. As she dances from left to right,
Someone behind her.
Okay, I'm glad you saw it first time.
alone. But then suddenly the figure of a man appears right behind her. He has his back turned towards her and moves backwards before simply disappearing. Some TikTok users think it's just really good editing.
Yeah.
Some think it could be an optical illusion. And some even think the mysterious man is a time traveler. Anyway, what do you think?
I think I danced.
Let me know.
I think you're done. You need to stop. You need to stop doing whatever that is.
So this one is a short one, but personally, you know, I thought it was good because this is a TikTok thing. The girl's just doing her thing. It would be quite strange for someone just to kind of edit that something in. But people do that. So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking, obviously, because I see you didn't actually see it at the start anyway. It's kind of one of those things that's hard to see anyway.
I saw it straight away.
Yeah, you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. And you know, when I would did it, I'm just more aware of like.
You're looking
yeah, I'm looking for
Yeah.
This is what these things do now. But when I'm watching like any videos or anything now, like I'm so like tuned in to what's happening around because you're probably watching videos like this. Yeah, you pick up that quickly. But I guess with this one, what really caught me about it was one, how he appeared was really out of nowhere because you can see behind her. It wasn't as if she was just standing there and then he'd had time to kind of come behind.
Yeah.
She's moving around. You can see there's no one behind, and then there's one literally like half a second where she moves and you see him, and then she moves again and he's not there.
Yeah.
But I think it's mostly like what creeps me out about is that he's kind of moving backwards with like a bit of like momentum, and he's turning almost at the end, and then he's vanishing, and he looks really real, you know.
I think that's the thing. He looks like a real person.
Yeah.
Whereas you know when we watch like we watch other ones and stuff, it's more like a silhouette or a shadow
blur,
or or a blur.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This one, like, if I saw that, I'd be like, yeah, this is a person, man. Do you know what I mean?
True.
But how does she not see that? Okay, first of all, when I first saw it, I thought this is like a green screen background. The background didn't look like real. But then I saw him and I was like, but you look real. The background didn't look legit. I don't actually think she was in a car park. Do you know how like on Instagram you could do like the green screen
Yeah.
behind you? I don't know if you could do that on TikTok, but he looked real.
Yeah.
And that's what I was a bit like, how does that work?
See, I love this because I think before, you know, watching stuff like this, people would say, you know, they see a ghost, and because we've been watching stuff like this, we're kind of already determining that if something's like a silhouette or not like a physical thing, then it's more real than it's not real. But what happens when people actually see something like a person? Because that also has happened. It's not as if it's unheard of for someone to see an actual person with features and like
And
a
people actually
physical
talk
body.
to them. Have
Ex-
conversations.
Well, that's the thing that has happened. There's another video of a guy recently, and he's working at a car workshop. This is a creepy one. Working at a car workshop, and they're just watching him on CCTV, and he's standing, he's talking to someone, he's talking. And the guy gets on the phone, he's like, "Who are you talking to?" He's like, "Oh, the guy."
Is that the black guy in the security thing?
I've
No,
seen
no,
that's a different one.
This
Oh,
is a
that's
different one. This
Oh,
is a
okay.
different one. And basically, long story short, there was a car that came in that had a crash,
Yeah.
but the person died in it. But
that's
but
who
he
he's talking
but so
to.
he was, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm talking to Mr. Blah blah blah."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, come." Like he's literally like
Yeah.
talking, like full talking. So there are times where people have had like, it's not even like a little bit of a figure. Like they're having
Interactions.
conversations
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
someone.
That's the same as the I think it's a black police officer or something, or in the jail or something, and someone died, whatever, and he's talking. So there's CCTV again, watching. The guy's just talking. I was like, "Bro, who are you talking to?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'm talking to blah blah blah." So my God, there's no one there.
No.
But the guy's like,
Yeah.
he's like backing
Yeah,
out. He's like, backing out.
no,
He's like, what do you
I've seen
mean?
that, I've seen that.
You know what you
There's,
mean?
but there's been so many of these
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
you know, and this is why I like having these conversations, because I think these things kind of get swept under the carpet sometimes, or people quickly to dismiss it, you know. There is one last one I'm going to say, we're going to get back to this as well, is there was this man, and I want to get this clip up, he's working at it's a hospital, and he's sitting at the desk, and he's just sat there, and it's just normal nighttime, and the door's open. The sensor door's open, and he gets up, and he's like, okay, he's chatting, blah 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 blah. Then he opens the gate, and he's like, yeah, cool country, walks over,
I
no
think I
joke,
saw that. Yeah.
walks over, goes to the elevator,
Yeah.
chatting, he's like, alright, boom,
Yeah.
like waits, elevator thing shuts, goes up, and he's like, alright, cool, and then like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was helping the old lady. Like, and it was like, there was
No.
nobody
No.
there.
Do you think though, yeah, that it's like hospitals, a lot of people die. You know, places where there's a lot of death, or there might potentially is
Yeah.
where you see like people are more in tune to having those experiences and coming in contact with those things. You think?
I would normally say yes, but I saw one recently where it was a cab driver and someone got into the back of his car. The door opened.
You silly, you're jumping ahead of the game.
Oh, okay, I'm
No, we're in it.
that one.
We're in it
Yeah,
now.
actually,
No,
yeah.
good.
I'll
Good.
send it
No, we'll
down.
show it. We will show it. We'll edit
Yeah.
it in, because I know
Yeah.
exactly which one you're talking about. We already had that one set up.
And it's just someone got in the back of the car on the cab and he's talking, but there's no one there. And like, you can see in the camera, there's no one there. But then that's like, where was that? Like on a normal street? Maybe it's a street where this person passed away. We don't know. But I would normally say yes. Where there's been a lot of
And also, it goes back to that when we're saying like, what was there before?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, because you know, lots of things have changed from how it was 100 years ago, whatever it might be.
to yeah.
That one Simi's speaking about, there was something there.
Was
Simi's
it?
trying to play games. Simi's playing games. It's in Japan,
Shock.
No, wait, what?
and there's an Uber driver. We're
Yeah.
gonna get it up, and he stops his car, and he sees a woman, opens the door, like electric door. She gets in. He starts. So he doesn't say anything. They're driving, and he's going like through a tunnel. And if you're looking closely, when there's like a little bit of shade, you can kind of see her face in the car.
Sure.
I didn't see that. I
Check it.
probably clicked
when
off.
you see it, it's gonna
I go,
give you
no, no,
chills.
no, 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 no.
When you see it, it's gonna give you
I
chills.
just
Exactly.
said,
Yeah, Simi's lying. Simi's lying.
So
man.
can't watch these after 8 o'clock, you know?
Hey, so
I was
yeah,
saying to Jerome,
there is a figure in there. You do see it very briefly. You see
okay.
like a woman just sat there, and obviously for him, and this is it. Like this is his CCTV. This is his dash cam.
But he didn't feel threatened. clearly.
No,
No.
He was just going about his daily drive. You know what I mean? Like, he was just
Drive.
taking her where she needed to go
Yeah.
in his own head. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
So I guess let's play devil's advocate on this. You know, what do you think people would say to determine that's fake?
who knows? Someone will come up with something.
Yeah,
People always do. I
Yeah.
just think
But it's
like,
hard. Well, I guess as a believer as well, it's hard, right? Because I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna try and put myself out of my own position of thinking. It's a dash cam, okay? Can be edited.
Yeah, and it's all the thing. CCTVs and dash cams. I'm always like,
It's
I've seen
different.
you can edit them. And things
Yeah.
Like that. Like I said, like I'd rather believe someone's phone, like they did it and share it Do you know what I mean? Because
Really?
it's hard. I just think with social media, it's harder to. It goes around too many people, isn't it?
Right.
Like whereas a CCTV, someone can do that. Whereas if I recorded you right now and press online, that's online already. I'm
Yeah.
not editing.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's straight online.
So only
I can't
live.
edit. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like even if I've got it on my phone, it's not live. But if I just did a recording, like you coming in late, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make
Which
sure
we
you
got
know
on
that.
video.
We got that on video, yeah. But and then we posted it straight away. So therefore
Yeah.
it's out there. There's nothing like I can't edit now. Some guy in the background as a shadow. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas
okay.
when you're doing like CCTV and stuff like that, obviously it's not. It is live, but someone's not putting it out there as live. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can then doctor it.
I need to see timestamps.
Mm.
Like I don't want
I
to
think
see.
not what I'm saying. I think that's how I think people.
So
would think
with
and
with
justify.
CCTV though, normally sometimes you have the time that's ticking
Mm.
along.
Yeah, if I see that and that's continuous,
Mm.
I believe it.
Yeah? Do you know what? I've got, again, we've got so much. This has gone left and right, but
Yeah.
there's another video I'm definitely going to get up, and I've been holding this one back because this is one of my favourite ones. This is one of the first ones that I've seen from Nuke, and I've always been a believer, but this one really like changed the game for
Took
me.
it there, yeah.
And there's this guy, he's from, I think it's like an Asian country or Indian country, and he does everything on live. So he goes into the building,
Yeah.
everything's live. He never does, it's never,
Straight to his
it's literally it's
views.
just live, and
Yeah.
you're watching it, and you see the comments, it's
Yeah,
all live.
yeah.
And he does something, and there's a couple videos.
That's
on
what I
there.
mean. So that's the one I'm like,
Okay,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. That stuff is different.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting.
But that
it's
one,
interesting.
but going back to the video though, and not there's lots of times like you see where it's what is it like sleight of hand? You know, like sleight of hand where just because you're like where it's positioned, you can things aren't always seen. I think that would be a way to like that one. Like you know, when you're watching something and. Because
You say, like,
the angle that
So
they
he
put
would
out,
have had to have been kind of moving.
Hey,
quickly.
listen.
He would have had to have some dance moves. He
He
didn't
was
look like he was.
straight
He didn't look like he was mobile. Like that, I'm gonna be honest. But he was moving backwards.
He was
He wasn't even
moving
looking.
That-
I mean,
but what I'm saying is that's how people might discredit that one is that there's been lots of things where you know you're looking, you see someone and someone comes out of nowhere from behind you like. Oh.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
that's
Like,
true,
when-
that's true.
and then the person carries on walking across the road, and
That's
obviously this
true.
person just again disappears. Or
Oh man, there's so many videos I want to do. You know, and this is why this is going to be great because there's so many videos. When you guys are saying these things, are popping in my head because I've watched this for a long time, and I'm gonna remind myself to get these videos. There's a guy, someone's driving in their car, and I don't know where it is, but imagine they're just driving and there's like obviously it's a motorway and you've got like the other high part, and someone falls from nowhere in front of a car, but you don't see anyone actually drop.
there's just a body on the floor.
Like you kind of see him half in the air. They kind of just appear. It's crazy stuff. Some stuff like that. But then you could determine, was he like behind? Was the car like missing a pillar? Who knows? But
yeah, but I always think like with those things like because I've seen the sleight of hand man that do card tricks and that. Yeah, bro.
oh, they're different levels.
Yeah, I'll say some of them are like
Yeah.
card gone. And I know what you did. I know in my head. I know you used the sleight of hand. I know you like, but it's still.
All right, I'm gonna get even deeper here. So I was watching David Blaine recently, and he was doing a card trick, and you guys know who David Blaine is, obviously, and he's amazing. And he done this where he had these two guys. I think it was that Logan Paul guy, whatever his name is. Him and he got him and his friend to take a picture, like holding a wallet, and there's nothing in it. And then they do a card trick, and he says, pick whatever card. The guy picks like a red of hearts, and he's like, okay, puts it blah 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 blah, and he's like, it's gonna be in your wallet. The guy opens his wallet, the card's in there. The card's in there. So it's like, where's the sleight of hand?
Yeah, bro. I'm saying.
And you also have to predict what card he's gonna pick out
Bro,
of the desk.
Yeah.
Some of them are sick.
Like for me, like what happens
Bro,
here?
listen.
How?
Yeah.
Because you have to like if unless it's what's in his pocket, you know, it's not even like
He's like.
how did he get there?
Do you know I used to like watching that Dynamo guy as
Yeah, I
well.
remember Dynamo.
Bro,
Yeah, I remember
he
Dynamo.
was. I remember one time he stepped through a glass window in that house
Do you
in front of like a crowd full of people with all phones and that. I'm like, what?
do you think these guys? Do you think it's magic, or do you think it's something more? Yeah,
It
I've got
has
you
to
now.
be more.
I think card tricks and that like
Yeah.
are like magic, like because there's like you can learn.
You can learn things like that.
You can learn,
Yeah.
and I'll know like something. But some of the other stuff I've seen these man do, I'm like, yeah, you got.
You can't learn to walk through a glass wall.
Yeah, you can't like.
So I
Whoa.
yeah.
What
So
deal
you
did
can-
you sign?
Yeah.
What deal did you
don't,
sign?
don't you feel like a lot of them have like this aura about them?
Yeah.
Like there's this like
Dark.
I don't know about dark. You
I,
think dark?
I always they creep me out. But I don't know if it's because they can do things that I'm like I
How did
can't
you do it?
justify. Like
Yeah.
how have you done that?
Yes.
So my mind's like you're a bit.
Yeah.
They all have this like I wouldn't say spaced out, but you kind of get what I'm saying. It's like this aura of like this weird calmness. Look at David Blaine. Look at who's the other one I went to see recently? Darren Brown. Like they have this like this aura about them. So are these people who have tapped
confident
in?
in their abilities? Yeah.
Have they tapped into something else?
Or,
Have they tapped
Yeah.
into something else? You believe so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is
I
it-
think you.
do you think
I think
everybody
our
can?
human brain there's a stat that we
Yeah,
only use
yeah.
5% of it.
But do you think everybody can then like tap into it like them?
Yeah.
Or do you think you're just born with it and these men just get to ride it?
I think probably everyone can, but it's not just like, oh, let me just tap into it. Like it's a lot of work. And it's going to be a lot of working on your brain and unlocking like a certain. Maybe you get to a certain age and you can't. Like you can't learn. Don't they say you can't? What? No.
Teach your old dog
New tricks. I was going to say that, but is that actually what I'm trying to say?
In
Do
a
you know
way.
what I mean? Like you can't teach your brain something new after a certain amount of
So
time.
do you think though, yeah, that because imagine everybody could do it, like how dangerous everyone would be. So do you think like we're brainwashed and like all this subconscious stuff through TV, social media, whatever, like around us, then they select a select few are allowed to be not programmed, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. It's almost like we were talking about children and how when they're born, and we came to an agreement that we are strong believers that they are able to see and hear certain things that we can't as adults. So if we're going on what you're saying and what you're saying, that's an ability that we've had before, but now we've lost.
Yeah.
So has the world like started to like close our eyes to certain
that's what I mean,
things?
like subconscious.
Have we been conditioned to not see or do these certain things?
Yeah.
I mean, based on that fact, I would say yeah. But what if you were able to kind of hone in on that and develop it
That's what I
and
mean.
not be closed to it? What could you do then? You know, who knows? These guys might be having some spirit dude who's a partner with them doing a madness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Darren Brown, no joke. When I was on that stage, I know we're getting left and right again, but like he had random people come up. He would be in the show, huge show, and this is how he selected people. He would get frisbees and he would turn around and he would throw it like this. So when people say to me, oh, you know, he chose someone.
Yeah.
There was even someone who was next to me. Someone caught it and they were like, oh, I don't really want to go up because they're shy. And they gave it to someone else down the line. So
Things out of his control.
yeah, that's out of. No one can say that he
No.
planned that, right?
Yeah.
He brings them up, and then they all had to like bring like something that was like you had to bring something that was important or special to you, and then they would all sit down and he put it on the table, and then you stand up in the middle of them.
And he
then,
would know who
No,
brought what.
because it was all in a bag. It was all in a
Oh.
bag. Like you have to put all in this black
Yeah.
bag, and then it gets taken, and then he just puts it all in the thing. These people come out, and then he's like, okay, and then he'll look at this thing and he'll pick it up, and he'll walk over, and
And we just like survey the people.
he'll look at them, he'll select one thing,
Yeah.
then pick it up, and he'll look at the people, and he'll walk over to one, he'll do things like this. He'll be like, stand up for a second. They'll stand up, he'll say, sit back down. And he's like, oh, so this was for you. This was like a hospital kind of
Yeah.
thing. He's like, oh, this was for you. They can't say anything.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and I'm getting this other name, boom, and then they're like, what?
How?
And
Yeah.
and I mean, like, one, he doesn't even know whose item that was, and two, he's getting names. He's almost saying it like, I can hear this name in your head.
Yeah.
That's bad.
So for me, that's beyond magic.
Yeah,
This isn't
yeah.
this isn't
Yeah,
magic
yeah,
anymore.
Yeah. They're
This is
minor details.
this
well,
is
details
something
that no one
special
sees.
that you have.
Yeah.
So like, if he's able to do that, then are we all able to do something like that? And I would love to learn how to, but then it's like, is there some kind of like
barrier?
Is there some kind of agreement?
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
like,
we all know what we think it is.
because it's true.
Yeah.
Like, if we all have powers, you guys are sitting here.
But that's what I mean.
Like,
That's what I mean.
like, if we all have powers,
Not everybody's good in the world, isn't it?
no.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So
No, not everyone's good in
everybody
the
had
world.
these mad things like.
Oh, could you imagine if Darren Brown was a
Was a villain. That's what I mean. If he was a
Darren
bad
Brown's
person.
super villain. He would,
No.
you'd walk into the room and he'd be like, "Oh, you're gonna try and throw this thing," and I know you
Yeah.
will, so
You
don't
can't
waste
win.
your time.
You can't win.
I've already seen it.
Yeah.
I've already done it.
Yeah. Oh, you're changing your mind?
You know
Okay,
what?
Oh, you
let's
changed
do
your
that
mind.
too.
Okay, I know that too.
Oh, you're gonna stab yourself now.
Like, it's scary.
not,
It would actually be scary. Do you know what's true? Like to think, because we just see these guys as
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah,
If these
entertainment,
guys
that's what
bring
I
this thing
mean.
around,
Yeah.
Bro, literally, it's entertainment, but
It's something deeper.
It
Yeah.
could be bad.
which is why I go to it. Are they government? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Are
not
they-
when I
yeah.
say government, but as they're greater powers than us, there always will be that are controlling this special. Do you know what I mean?
These special people.
Because what if man, like, say something bad happened to someone in his family or something, yeah?
Mm.
And he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna revenge him.
Yeah.
But then if we've
Do you know
got
what I mean?
people that can
Yeah.
potentially
Like normal
see
people do
things
that.
Yeah, but
and
he's
like maybe
special.
read people's minds, why don't we use them in other situations? Like for the greater good.
I
let's
hear
say.
you. So you mean
Why
like,
don't we do
so
why
like
not?
if like in court, let's say.
Yeah. Well,
But
no, that's not. But I suppose then that falls on one person.
But and I think then you fall into an ethical kind of.
See, we just
grey
mess
area.
ourselves up, don't we?
I suppose you would fall into an ethical grey area. wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You had man
Yeah.
reading your mind in court.
Human rights. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and,
Professor
and,
X
and,
does.
and then you'll always get
Yeah,
people who
yeah.
say, well, he's not,
Yeah.
right? Especially the one about guilt and shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like,
If he's
how
guilty,
do you
he's
prove
lying.
it? Like, he's lying.
Prove it,
He's
yeah,
he wants to
prove it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it does get into like this ethical kind of like.
But what we
dangerous
don't
place.
know is that they might have these higher up ability people that are just behind the scenes that do work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And never ever be known, never be
Yeah.
seen. You know what I mean? They just go do their thing, help the
Mm.
government or whoever the powers that be might be.
Apparently, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but apparently he's not allowed to bet.
Who?
Darren Brown.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to bet.
Of course.
Because-
Well,
because-
he's
Well,
not.
man
allowed
can
to
pick
bet,
up
but
random
he's-
item and tell him it's this person
Yeah.
because he's not allowed to bet you.
Nah,
Of course he's not allowed.
he done more than that.
Yeah, I know.
He done
Of
more
course
than
he's not
that.
allowed, bro.
Can he advise people
Yeah, I was
on
gonna
what to
say,
bet?
bro, I can-
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if he's my friend, I want him to advise me.
Yeah.
I want to be a millionaire. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
It's true.
do you know what? And to finish
But
off
that goes back to the ethical
the
thing.
ethical
do you know
thing,
what I
yeah,
mean?
because then you can't.
Like even then, he can't tell all his,
He
like, his
can't
whole
really.
family. Oh yeah,
So
by the
kind of
way,
going on
you
that.
should put it on this number, this number, this number tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
His
really.
whole family millionaires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the kind of question.
And obviously he doesn't because we don't see any people winning it every.
Of course,
Not
of
yet.
course, of course.
The question of if you could, and if he was right in front of you now and said, I can tell you what's going to happen in the next 5 years, or I can tell you how long you've got to live and stuff like that. Would you,
I wouldn't know how long I want to live. No,
so if he
way.
says, I can show you where you are in 5 years, let's say,
Mm.
would you take him up on the offer? Or are you tempting fate?
I'm saying no to the
To
I
the
can tell you when
deadline.
you're gonna die.
Mm.
I don't want to know that.
Where in 5 years?
Where in 5 years? Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a real hard question to me.
And I wonder if you can see that, or if anyone can see that.
And is it?
Mm.
This is where you're gonna be 5 years, guaranteed. No matter what you do from now to that 5 year
Yeah.
point,
Yeah, because ultimately you finding out with
would
the,
alter the chain.
Yeah.
But then would it?
Well, that's what I'm
Because
saying.
you're
But
always
imagine,
destined
imagine
to
he's
be
like,
there.
oh yeah, in 5 years you're gonna
You're
be a
always
millionaire.
destined
My
to
guy,
be
I'm sitting at home chilling every day from now to the end of the 5th year.
Oh,
Hey, why am I going out stressing myself if I'm a millionaire in
Yeah.
5 years? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's like something bad, then you're going to be always working to try and avoid that bad thing.
which could play
Play
into
into
doing
the
the
bad
bad
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous
I'm gonna
game.
go no. I'm gonna go no.
You're gonna
You
go
don't wanna
now?
know.
I don't want to know. I'd rather just take my day by day and just go with it.
Yeah.
And you know, I kind of live that way anyway.
Yeah, I think we have
Oh,
to.
we know.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
I,
Oh, we know.
I kind of live
You
that
ain't
way.
got to tell us.
anyway.
Your Instagram story
Hey,
said that.
hey, we're gonna edit that bit out. Anyway. It's fine. We're gonna edit all that nonsense. We're gonna edit that out.
No.
Yeah, like that.
It's a freeway decision.
Yeah.
Staying in.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go no.
Gonna go no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
same.
think I'm
I
gonna
don't
go no. Which sounds a bit strange because you kind of want to know, right? If you had the chance.
What are you working towards there? But I think 5 years ago, me would want to know.
Mm.
today's me.
No.
Nah, hold that. You keep that.
But do you think 5 years ago you would like to know because you know where you are now? If it was you 5 years
That's a good
ago
question.
and they were
Yeah.
like, where do you want to be? Would you not still have the same? Oh, but what if this is bad? What if this is bad?
Yeah.
Because I think that's
Yeah,
for
you
me.
would.
For me, it's I'm quite a positive person. I live
Yeah.
in the here and now, so I don't want to know if there's going to be bad things in 5 years.
Yeah.
Because I think that would then change the person I am in those 5
Today.
years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I wouldn't want to know.
Yeah.
Because I would hate they say, oh, in 5 years you'll lose a leg. Yeah, touch wood.
Nah, touch
Do you know what I mean? But I'll be like, so depressing. Like,
Yeah.
That
So,
changes you. That
like,
changes you bad.
I'm gonna now try and avoid like anything that, you know what I mean? Like,
That might involve
could-
losing
do
a
you know what I
leg.
mean?
Yeah.
Or, but then it could be, you're gonna be happy, blah blah blah, and I'll be like, oh, that's sick. But I wouldn't
No.
take the risk.
I don't think I would either.
Nah.
Nah.
Let's just hope Darren Brown, if you ever see him, don't become a super villain, please.
Yeah.
If I see him, I'll ask for
Don't
lottery
become a
numbers instead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, but if you've got some numbers that pop into your head, like,
Listen, if you've got
Do you,
anything that's
do you know
gonna
what's
make me-
interesting as well? And I've seen him do it and I've seen others do it. They do certain things to determine who's more, is the word susceptible? To brainwash.
Yeah.
to brainwash.
Yeah, pretty much. Or
Because
to, yeah.
they hypnotise them, don't they?
Yeah, because there'll be guys who come up, like, oh man, I'm missing so much about what happened on the show, but he'll be able to do things like someone's sitting there talking to him and he'll be like, okay, sleep, basically. And they'll sleep. Dead sleep.
Oh, do you know how bad that is?
Dead sleep. Dead sleep.
Nah, and
Right.
and things are going on around him, and this guy's
Yeah, so
asleep.
I'm gonna end this topic because we're gonna go on to the next topic. I'm gonna end this topic with what happened when I went there, yeah? So
Okay.
he's had a great show, he's done some amazing things which I think you're gonna see on TV anyway actually. It's gonna be on for already and I'm at that one. You might see my face doing some crazy stuff, I don't know.
Sleeping, I bet he's.
Oh, I might have been, I ain't gonna lie. So
I hope you're brainwashed. I can't wait.
so I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna be quick. Yeah. So imagine you've got this big stage. I'm gonna set this in. You've got a big stage. You've got this table, and you've got a box that's hanging on like this podium kind of thing. It's not that high, but it's kind of high. And he's talking about. He's basically saying to the whole crowd, "You've been seeing me hypnotize people. I'm gonna hypnotize pretty much most of you in the crowd as well now." So everyone's like, "All right." Because I'm not hypnotizable, if that's the word.
Yeah.
So he then asked for one of the people that came up before, because he said, I felt something about you, come up again. So she comes up, they sit down on this table, and he's got a box on this table as well, and a box over there, yeah? And he's like, so cool. So we're chatting, and he's like, so while she's chatting, I'm just going to let her talk, blah, blah, blah. So she comes up, and he's like, yeah, and then he goes, okay, sleep. And he's like, does this, doesn't say anything else.
What did she sleep? Just like
Literally,
her head
but
just dropped,
no,
or
listen,
what, like-
I'm saying sleep. He doesn't even say sleep. He just does something, and then
Okay.
she does this.
Yeah.
I'm saying sleep. He doesn't even say sleep. And then he grabs her hand. There's like a card. He grabs her hand, like he puts her over the card. If I remember clearly, like he taps like 3 times, puts it back, then opens the box, closes the box, and then he wakes her back up. And then she goes straight into her combo as if like she took a
Nothing's
breath.
missed. Yeah.
Straight back into whatever she was saying, and then they're chatting. So anyway, so he goes, all right, so look, there's a card there, you're going to put that in the box. And she's like, no, I'm not. He's like, you will, and everyone's going to see you do it, but you're not going to know you do it. And she's like, basically not going to happen. He's like, all right, cool. And he's like, on the count of 3, he goes 1, 2, I think when he gets to like 2, the lights go black, and then he goes like 3, and the lights turn back on. And then she's still like, nothing's happened. Everyone's like, no one can see anything. And then they show the recording, and obviously the box, the thing is in the box, yeah, the card's in the box. And he's like, oh, so this time it's gonna go over there, and you're gonna get up and you're gonna put it over there. And he gets a random person, he gets another random person that's just gonna stand and watch the box. And what's really weird about this bit, yeah, he does the frisbee and he gets this random person, she comes out and he said, you're just gonna stand here and watch this box. And then when he says it, she just stops and she's just like this. She does not move for like the next 5-10 minutes. She's just like this. The whole time, yeah? She does not move. Goes back to this woman, chatting. He's like, okay, again, I'm going to go to 3 and you're going to get up and you're going to put it over there. She's like, not going to happen. Anyway, counts to 2, gets to like 3, and then this time the lights go black, but then it goes red and it can show you. She does this, no joke. You know when this meet up. She gets up, like slow, walks over. He walks with her, yeah?
He walks with her.
Walks with her. Like, she gets up, helps her get the chair, gets up in the box, boom, puts it in the thing, comes back, yeah? Snap again. She's like,
You saw her do this.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
And then she's like, the boxes and the fingers, and he's like, and he's like, what? So now this time we're gonna do it again, and this time you guys are gonna get me to get hypnotized. Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, I ain't getting no hypnotized. I'm not hypnotizable. You know what I'm saying? I've said it. You know what I'm saying? So he does this thing again, and no joke. And I spoke to people on the train and everything. I remember this 1, 2, and I don't remember him getting to the other number, but I remember like it just kind of like flash on, flash back on. I mean like half a second. I mean like literally 1, 2, 3, and then
Obviously,
the
it was longer,
lights are back on.
wasn't it?
All I remember is like a 1, 2, 3, and the lights back on. Yeah, like a flash, lights back on. So, and I see the thing swinging.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's no way you could have got there in that time.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And everyone else was like, why is the thing swinging? Some people heard like 4, 5. I didn't hear no 4, 5. I heard like a 1, 2. I remember going back and then coming back on. Anyways, at the end of the whole show, he's doing the round of applause, and then they show the video, yeah? I don't know, I hope they don't zoom in on me because I didn't see this. No joke. And he was basically explaining like, it's crazy how your brain can work because your brain can edit things out without it even knowing. So he literally did this. He got up, walked her over, slow, super slow, got the chair for her. She got up, put it in the box, helped her down, walked her back, put the chair back. Man done dance in front of the camera, sat back down, 5, whatever it is. No joke. And this would have been like a 10-second situation.
Yeah.
My brain, I did not see it. On my life, all I saw was him say 1, 2, the lights went black, 3, and then I saw the thing swinging. On my life.
That is crazy though.
Like, it's scary.
That's
in a
insane.
way.
But it's scary,
It's scary, man.
Like,
Like,
but it's what I'm saying.
he
Imagine
edits
these
stuff
people
like
were
that.
bad people.
yeah, man. Listen, like I said, Darren Brown, don't become a super villain. Man.
Yeah.
Don't do it,
Can't.
please.
He'd have all you lot robbing banks,
Oh,
doing mad stuff.
I would be hypnotized. But yeah, anyway.
Unhypnotizable.
Unhypnotizable, yeah. Oh, man. I was watching, because I like to obviously watch a lot of things. There was this experiment on energy. You know I love talking about energy, yeah?
Okay.
And these people have 2 plants. I don't know if you've seen this or you've heard of this. They have 2 plants in the container. The plants grow the same as whatever. They're going to grow the same plant. They're going to get watered, everything the same, yeah? But one plant, they've got microphones in these containers. And whilst they're growing, they get the same amount of everything. One plant's just going to hear, you're not worth living, you're a piece of shit, like, I hate you, blah, blah, blah. The other one's going to hear, you're the best, I love you, you're so beautiful. And that's just going to continue.
Okay.
Guess what happened?
The
Positive
flower.
one grew and the negative
Yeah.
one didn't.
It was it was like deteriorating.
Yeah.
And I was like, isn't that interesting? How the words, you know that old saying, you know, sticks and stone, words are never. Well, that's a lie, clearly,
Yeah.
because it's literally proven. And I want to get this clip up. It's literally proven that the one that had the positive grew and was living wonderfully and kept growing, and the
Yeah.
other one that was just hearing that it's a piece of shit and it's not worth living and it shouldn't be here,
Yeah.
like basically died and struggled. And I was like, if we bring that into like our everyday now,
Mhm.
yeah, and you know, not getting too deep, but you obviously have people who don't tell their children enough about how good they are,
Yeah.
and not even just children, but even our friends and family, and
Yeah.
even ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what happens? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to kind of get you guys' thoughts on that because I thought it was something that was quite interesting, and I love that, you know, this was an experiment and you could see the 2 things make such a difference of what
Yeah.
happened based on what was said to it, you know. So yeah, what's your guys' thoughts on that? I guess is my question.
I think it's very interesting that it was done on plants because plants, they're living things, but they're not like, they don't have a brain and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like they're just hearing words, or all vibes and vibrations around it was negative. So I think definitely with human beings, I mean, have you heard the saying, like all the slogan that goes around goes, have you noticed how happy you are when you cut certain people off? So I think as humans, we definitely absorb vibes and energies and the people we're with.
Yeah.
It may not be even words that come out of people's mouths. It can just literally be bad energy. If someone's got bad energy around you, I always normally feel when I've left someone with bad energy, I go back, I'm not like, I feel drained.
Yes.
And I'm a sponge. I soak people, I live off people's energy. So when I leave certain people, I'm like, oh, like, I
don't
like
want that.
that.
Yeah.
And throughout life, there's certain people that we have cut off. It's so much better. Like, just genuinely, and there's a difference when you feel like, oh no, I'm happy, then genuinely happy.
Yeah, not just
And
saying you're happy.
And then you know the
feel
people
it,
around you,
know
the
it.
vibes around you, the energy around you is just so good. And I think as human beings, we soak that up.
For me, obviously, working in the settings that I work in, it's all about positive affirmations and, you know, reinforcing positivity. Like, even if you're going to tell a student off or whatever it might be, the consequences, it still needs some kind of positive thing. So they need to understand the reasons and be able to learn from it, so they can get the positive outcome next time or whatever it might be. So yeah, it's all about, you know, positives all day, man.
Yeah.
What do you guys think happens? You know, when someone walks in a room, yeah, and we feel like this like energy.
Yeah.
Here's a question: do you think? And this is going to be a bit of a tricky question. Obviously, we all receive and perceive differently. But do you think that person just has that energy and they come into it and then we're like, oh, okay, we feel it. But are we then like, is it changing because of who we are and how we are? Or is that energy just staying the same? Do you get what I'm saying? Like if someone walks in and they're happy energy, yeah? But you may not feel it's a happy energy.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to ask the question of why do you think that might happen, and do you think it happens? I know it's a good one.
People always perceive things. You know, you like say, oh, there's just something about them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't put my hand on it. There's just something about them.
Yeah.
Like, the people say those things all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know what it is, and I think that's vibrations and energy. Like, and I think, you know, like you said, some people are happy energy and something. And I think even the happy people, even when they have a bad day or they're upset or they're not themselves, you can still sense that it wants to come out.
Yeah.
Still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think sometimes someone walks into a room, and I don't know if, I'm sure it's happened to all of us, you just don't click with that person.
Yeah.
Like your
Definitely.
vibes just like, and it could be boy, girl, man, woman, walk in and it's like a defence. If we're not clicking, I'll know from the second you walk into a room whether I'm clicking with you or not. And I can, then if I'm like, oh, actually, I don't know, they seem okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just like
If
walked
the
into a
walls
room and like they don't know anyone here, so maybe they're a
they've
bit
got
quiet
their
or
wall up,
something.
which is an offensive wall when
Yeah.
they walk in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then you have a conversation, and then I'll know for like a good 2-3 minutes of having a conversation with someone. Now you're not my person. You be over there, I'll be over here. Like we know, I think our bodies tell us
Yeah.
when someone walks into a room, when you first meet someone. But can it be changed? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we change a not so good energy into a good energy? Yes, but it's draining.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
if that person wants to be.
and I think it's how you receive the energy. Like where I'm now, like sometimes I just hate going around people and thing because of all that. Like, I just can't bother to soak up all the different energies. So I try to I like to be with my people because I know their energies, whether they're in a good mood, bad mood, or whatever. I know my people's energies. You know, I can go around him. But there's times where like if I'm around him, this guy's a big energy, innit? So he brings other energies all the time. And there's times where I've gone around to him and there's all these other energies that are around there. I'm like, I don't really want to be here. Do you know what I mean? As much as I love you, I love your energy all the time. I mean, your energy always gets on.
But today, it's not
that energy over there, I'm just,
Yeah.
let me just go this way. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that.
And
It's being, and I guess it's respect to you as well. It's being aware of that and taking action on that. So I think that is something that sometimes, maybe when we were younger as well, we would probably know but not want to do anything about it in some ways, or take action on it. Do you know what I'm saying? This is a question I just thought of in my head as well. This stuff I don't write down all the time. Now we're talking about energies, and obviously we've been speaking about spirits and everything else. So if that's the case, and you walk in somewhere and you feel some kind of energy, but there is no person there, is that a bit of an indication then that we do obviously continue after we die?
when you say there's no energy,
No, you feel it, and there's
so
no
you feel-
there's no physical body there. There's
When
no,
you
there's
walk
nothing
into a
there.
room and you feel there's someone around.
yeah, you feel an energy. You feel something because obviously an energy is more than obviously just a body.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard one because like I sometimes feel like I always feel like my granddad watches over me and things like that. So I always like sometimes I feel his presence or things that remind me of him, even though he's not here, obviously. But whether it's just you go in a room and it's a random spirit and a random energy, I'm not so sure.
Have you ever had that before?
I've gone, I can't say I have. Not a random one. I've gone in and felt familiar energy around me.
Right.
I don't think I've ever gone in
And felt something that's
yeah,
not.
like, well, what is that?
Ah, okay.
I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever walked into a room and felt like I'm not alone. Unless something has happened, like I've seen something or I felt something,
Right.
that I'm not alone.
So your brain, would you say your brain's then kind of playing tricks a little bit if there has been something that's happened, because you're using that as a base,
Indication,
as
yeah.
that something's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Ah.
Why you?
And I'm gonna get to my point. I'm getting to my point of going back to originally we were speaking about like how sometimes we may have been, because of the world, a bit blinded or kind of closed our eyes to certain things. So I'm trying to figure out like, you agree that you can feel energy and we agree that energy isn't just a physical thing. Obviously, you don't need to see something to feel something like that. So I'm questioning, have you ever felt anything that you don't see? And you're saying no, which is, fair, I get that. And maybe it's because of the places you're going. Maybe if you go to like a graveyard or some kind of, you might feel something different,
But it's funny you say that though. But if I go to my granddad's grave, I rarely feel him or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I'll like be at home or just be out. I could be out driving and I'll like feel like warm. And I generally, that's just the one I associate him with.
Yes.
Like because he was the person that I was always closest with.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I always feel that warm energy. It might not even be him, but I associate that warm feeling, like when of that energy sometimes with him. Yeah. And even when I have like days where I'm feeling down, and I get that little spike, I think that's a warm energy of him, kind of just like putting an arm around me and saying like, "You got
good.
this,"
You're
good. Yeah, you know what I mean, like get it together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We all need that sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
We all need that.
What about you? You ever gone in a room and felt random energy?
Yes. And places. Like I've walked past some things before. I was in LA, as you know, last week. I went to Cecil Hotel.
I couldn't believe it. I saw it.
Do you know what's crazy?
Did you go in?
Oh, easy now.
What? You
sure?
just stood outside.
You got content.
Hey, listen.
It's
If I told you guys what downtown LA is like,
I just know
you wouldn't want to go
content.
in there.
You could have got content.
I basically like.
We're gonna have to send it again.
we literally, yeah. Or
But
send
live
us.
stream it. No. When I walked past that place, and again, maybe it was my brain kind of telling me certain things because I know, and I've obviously read the documentary or everything else of what happened there. So maybe it was a bit of that. But that was a recent one where I walked past and I was like, so I went twice, by the way, just so you know.
Okay.
So the first time, I think I had it on my Insta, and I parked the car, and I was like, I know that hotel. So I walked past.
Was it just by coincidence?
No
You
joke.
just came across it.
I forgot that hotel was even in LA, if I'm honest with you.
Right,
I've always
okay.
known about it, but I forgot it was in LA, and I didn't know I was so close to it.
Yeah.
And I walked past, and I was just like, I could feel like it was not good, like really not good.
No.
But again, that could have been my brain playing on me. And then I went the other night, I parked the car, so I thought it was shut. When I walked past, it was shut. But what they've done is they've opened like a side piece that you can kind of, people still stay there, which is madness. I know. People still live there.
Yeah, that's because some people love like
They live for
that
that.
bit. Yeah. That
And it's really
unknown
cheap,
that.
and downtown LA is
Yeah.
a rough place, real rough place. Skid Row is a horrible place as well, but anyways. And so I went past in the night time, and no joke, there was like 3 people outside, just like standing like this little area, and one was just stood like this, their head down. One was because there's a lot of drugs and stuff that goes on in LA. One was doing something else, and the other one was just like literally walking up and down,
Pacing.
up and down, pacing. So that's why I didn't go inside.
I wouldn't have gone in at night.
I mean,
No, that's
no,
something.
no.
I would have gone in
A little bit
daytime.
mad. But no, in terms of, I think there's been once or twice I've gone to like a house or something, and I've been like,
good energy in it.
Yeah, like I could just felt something was not really like right, and whether it was like me feeling like a bad spirit or just something, I don't know. But there has been times where I've felt some things.
Really?
Yeah. But like I said, I guess maybe it depends on how attuned you are to some things, and maybe it's my brain, because your brain does obviously do that, you know. So yeah, there's been some times.
I'm gonna start paying more attention when I walk into rooms. Maybe I'm just so blasé, like.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, this is what kind of happens to us, though, right? We're focused on all these physical and other things. We're not really as in tune with
That's true.
the spiritual side. And I was having this conversation with someone, I think yesterday, because we were talking about the podcast, and I was saying the reason why I love what we're doing here is because I've kind of found when I speak to anyone, especially from the Caribbean and other cultures and everything else, they would always say like their grandparents or one of their grandparents was quite spiritual and they were quite connected, and they'll say things like this, and everyone laughed. They'll say things like, "Oh yeah, your Aunt Jodie come visit me last night. Yeah, she come sat down in my bed." And I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Like so normal for them, isn't it?
And this is the kind of conversations they would be having. So
that's when she comes sat down at the end of the bed, you know.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right?
Of course.
Like calm about it. And I'm like, so like, obviously they inherited or got this from somewhere, or maybe this was something. I think I'm trying to link everything in one. Maybe this was something that their parents, just like the plant, was kind of speaking positive about them, giving them more belief and more understanding and more attuned to. So when they got to a certain age, they were more in tune with the world, rather than it being cut down or just kind of ignored. And I'm just, I'm interested that, you know, I guess where did they get this from, firstly, and why have we we lost it? Why have we lost that ability? Because my mum's a grandma now. My mum isn't as in tune with the spiritual side of things as my grandma was.
Do you think that's because of the way how fast life moves and the technology and all those kind of things? Like back in the day, you didn't have, you know, you couldn't sit on your phone and do all that. So you're more in tune to the world, to nature, to you know, that kind of stuff.
That's true. That is very, very true. We spend way too much time on that stuff, man. You're right.
Yeah.
You are so right. You're so right. I didn't even think of it like that, but the world was obviously different in many ways, but that was one of the key things. Technology.
Yeah.
They weren't, I mean, I know what they were doing, because my dad's one of 9 and my mum's like one of 5, so I know what they were, you know what I'm saying? They had other things to do, do you know what I'm saying? Looking after children in big families. And that's another thing, big families were a lot bigger too, a lot bigger, you know? But do you, again, I'm asking you just random questions here, do you think that, again, that is something that we could tap into again? Because think about it as like a family heritage.
I think yes, you can always
have
tap
you lost
into
it?
I think yes, you could always, but I don't think, like I said, with how fast life moves and things, I don't think people have the patience for, like, the way life moves now is that you have to make money, you have to be busy, you have to be doing all these things just to survive, just to keep your head over water. So like sometimes, like, you can't invest as much time as you want to into that side, because I need to go do my second job, because I need to like feed my kids. I need to, you know what I mean? Like, so I can't go and see a spiritualist. I can't do this because I need to go do my cleaning job.
I can't get myself right.
I can't get myself right because I'm providing for my family. Do you know what I mean? I'm obviously talking from a holistic.
Of course.
Usually, like for me personally, I have a lot of time on my hands to do the things I want. But you know, you have less time. With your family and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? You're a free spirit, so.
Hey, when you see this,
but, you know,
remember that on the timestamp. Just you already know, bang.
But you get my point. You know what I mean? Like,
I hear it.
I think you know. I think if people really want to, and you we really into this. Like we want to invest in this, and it's good to see where the journey goes and stuff like that. But not everybody can. True.
I think we can, to a certain extent. I think we could train our brains to be more open to certain things. But I don't think we ever would if we tapped into it like 11, 12 kind of. I think our brain, we have to unlock certain parts, and I just don't think.
And how does that make you feel? That just that sentence.
I feel cheated. Like I feel like only when I was older, I realised I wasn't using the full potential of my brain.
Yeah.
Why aren't we?
Yes.
Well, we know why we're not, because I think it would be pretty dangerous if we unlocked a lot more parts of our brains. But I feel cheated. I would want to know what Sim would be like if I had unlocked more or used more of my brain. 5%.
This is going to lead into the next topic as well.
Before you do that, I've got a question though.
Of course.
So, based on what we just talked about. So, do you think people who are religious, are more susceptible to believing and seeing and being in touch with spirits, higher beings, all that kind of stuff, because they believe in God, they believe in a faith? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas someone who, you know, there is no God.
Yeah.
Like, so then why would they? Would you?
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, then they say open your arm, open your mind, and everything else to it. I think, yeah, and because they have, whether it's a case of now they're looking for it, and you know, maybe their mind's like telling them that that's happening, and I also believe that does happen. I do believe, and you know, some churches may hate me for this, I do believe that people are taking advantage of that. Hope is a very dangerous thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do believe there is an extreme of that where people are so hopeful, and then everything else that people can then take advantage of them based on their belief in their religious stuff. Sadly, and I also do believe on the flip side that if you become so closed off and cut off from it, then you will never believe or see anything because
But you're not entirely religious.
no.
You don't practice faith.
No.
But you're very open to receiving.
Yeah, I guess. For me, what would I even class myself as? I do believe there's obviously a God, there's something higher, and I guess for me, I do believe that we are, the way the world is and stuff that you were talking about, we become a little bit detached from what I believe is quite important, because this physical stuff and the money and stuff, you know, like, we don't take it anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, like, there's a lot of other things that we can kind of learn and become better with. And not just thinking about the next money, what's this. So yeah, for me, I am religious-ish. Maybe I'm spiritual. Maybe that's probably the word to use.
But do you think believing or being spiritual is enough? So if you're going to believe that there is a higher, greater power, you can't believe that without believing in the spirit side of things.
Correct.
Do you think they both come hand in hand?
They have.
Question
They-
with, are they more in tune with seeing spirits, with things like that?
Yeah.
Purely because they believe
Yeah.
there's a God. Because obviously you can't see God, innit? And
Yeah.
things like this. This is my point. And
Yeah.
you know, and we can, like, even the Bible, we go for Jesus, blah blah blah. This all was someone written down and all these things. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
does that make them more susceptible to and exposed?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I believe
Because
so.
you're religious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel that benefits you? And do you think someone who walked your same walk of life but wasn't religious
Yeah.
would be able to experience the same things?
Probably not. I think you do have to be open to a certain degree to. Yeah, no, I think you have to be open to a certain degree to experience it, to believe it fully. Yeah.
I guess you have to be open to anything, though, right? Like, if you're not open to love,
You won't ever receive love.
you'll never receive it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a lot of things that we have to be open to. Although sometimes being closed is an act of protecting yourself in some ways. But I think you do have to kind of be open.
It comes back to the very first question: is the positive energy and the negative energy. isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
And actually,
we're linking all of
and
them.
actually,
Yeah.
then I was just thinking while I was talking. The negative energy, if you're honest, is so big. I remember, like, when I did my leg, the weeks running up to that, I hated football.
You did. I remember.
I was really like,
You did.
Man United were losing the rubbish.
Bro, you didn't even Sunday league.
But then,
you
like,
didn't play.
when I was playing myself, I wasn't happy, like, physically with myself. I wasn't happy with, like, my fitness and all that. And I was just putting out that negative affirmation saying, I just hate football. And I remember the day before I done my leg, we played away in a cup game against some dead team. It was crap. I played crap. I remember I got sin bin, and I'd rarely get things like that. I'm not that kind of player. I got sin bin, everything there. It was just awful.
Yeah.
I remember the coach was like, I hate football, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Woke up Sunday morning and they were like, we're short, blah, blah. I was like, cool, I'll just go because it's the man them. I want to help the boys. And
Yeah.
got there, they were doing alright. They were losing. I didn't have a kid. I got there late. I didn't want to play. I was like, I don't want to play.
Yeah.
I'm just
Not on it.
they were losing, so I was like, alright, let me come on, help the boys. Come on, turn it round, winning, and then like in a split second, gone from
To not play.
to not playing to not playing. You know what I mean? Like done. Like year and a half later, 3 surgeries later, like, and it was awful. And I look there, and this is why I've been so positive.
Yeah.
With like everything else moving forward, with like trying to put more positivity in my life, because I feel that
You
if I
yeah.
attracted this bad injury on myself because I was putting it out there. You know what I mean? Whereas I look back and I was like, if I was in a happy place and I was enjoying football, and I was fit, I wouldn't be talking like that. It might still happen, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'll never know that, but I just think in my head, like, for the person I am, the energy I put out is the energy I receive back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
It's deep, but you know, brother, you definitely was. I remember it. I remember you hated football.
Hated it.
You're like, dumb football every time. I'm like, I was like,
and that's because I grew up on football. I'm football.
Yeah, this is what I know. It was confusing.
I'm football crazy.
So what was your frame of mind like when it happened? So when you broke.
So when I broke it, you don't think of anything. Like I remember just lying on the pitch, just thinking like, oh. So I did my knee quite bad.
Yeah.
Like years ago, and again that wasn't. And again, that was probably when I was not in a great place in life as well.
Yeah.
And I was like quite hard on myself, blah blah blah. When I first did my knee, but this one, you didn't really think of it. And then I don't know, just like the time off, I was like, from the start, I was like, it's not the end of the world. Like, and then I was like, okay, what's the goal then? And I was like, my goal is to be able to just run, walk, and just be able to access that without pain and things like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously the surgeries were bad, and I had to go back, and it was a bad journey. And I was just in my head, I'm like, there's people going through worse things. You know what I mean? Like,
so you had to override the negative.
Yeah.
Like,
I was trying to program
Yeah.
myself, like, and it was long. Like, so when I first did it, on the first surgery, I was on the ward. It was just alright. Like, there's people there, and I'm like, oh, I just want to go home. Just be in my own space. The second surgery, I was in my own room, and because it was COVID, they don't let people come and see you. It's nothing. So I'm like there by myself. Just had my second surgery.
Just with your own thoughts.
Literally in a box room in a hospital by myself.
Yeah.
That was the hard part. Like I was like really, really low. Like one night I just remember I was lying there like I try not to cry. Like I'm thinking I'm just here alone. I just want like someone just to come and sit with me and just like just chat to. Do you know what I mean? I didn't get none of that. Like, and that was really hard. And then I was like, nah. Like there's people going through worse things in life. Like people going through cancer. People going through whatever they're going through. I'm like, you broke your leg. You're like,
okay.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here. And once I started looking at it like that, the positive side, like, I've come so far. Like, my positive thinking, like, I'm so much stronger, like, resilient. And then everything else in life started to go back into place. Like, then I got a new role at school, and do you know what I mean? And like, I was like, oh, what? Like, once you change the mindset and the positivity that comes with it, and that's why, like, now I always try and just see the best in things. I try to, even if bad things happen, okay, well, what did I learn from the experience that I can use positively next time? Do you know what I mean?
Everything's a lesson.
Yeah.
But
do you know what's funny? I think there is always, in everyone's life, there's a corner, there's an event, there's something that happens, and me and everyone, even you, Balama, there's something that happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do think it's like a left or a right turn, because it can quite easily go the other way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's up to the person, obviously, and their support and everything else, which way it goes sometimes.
So the reason I asked, and I back what you're saying, is because there was a couple of years ago, as we know, I went through probably one of my hardest stages of life. And something happened, and I remember someone said to me, Sim, you're so calm. Like, you're scaring me at how calm and how, like, composed you are.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, as I said, this is my reply, I feel like God is in me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm at the point where I could literally break down. I'm at my lowest, and my whole life could crumble around me.
Yeah.
But I say, and it's not even because I wanted to.
No.
I just did.
You through it, isn't it?
I just did. I felt so powerful, and I was like, I actually genuinely feel all the prayers that I've been doing, like all my faith, that I've kept my faith and stuff like that. I genuinely feel it was leading up to this moment to keep me up and to keep me have the strength to continue to work out the situation of what it was.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked, because since then, I think there's been a switch in me where I'm a completely different person.
I
Putting yourself first,
yeah.
and not like it's okay to be to put yourself first, and
Yeah.
it's okay to be selfish for yourself and your own heart and your own like beliefs and things like that. And I think that's another one. Like I wouldn't say I'm selfless. I'm not very selfish. Like lots of like there's way more selfless people than me, and like but like you said, you're a sponge. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I always felt like when I always go out to help people, I've always thought things. I do all these things where and people like a battery. So like their battery grows fuller and mine
yours
gets.
yeah.
And that's how I always end up like when I come out of everything.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, nah, I'm gonna put myself first. If it's not what I want to do, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And even if you're upset, that's okay because I put myself first.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
And I think it goes into what we were saying earlier about the way we speak to ourselves in our minds,
Yeah.
and then which then trickles down, in my case, or in everyone around you, how you speak to your kids.
There you go. Yeah.
So when this switch happened, I started speaking to myself so positively, and then I started speaking to my kids like,
positively.
you're going to be the next best thing. And
Yeah.
not even that, you're worthy, you're enough in this world.
That's
and
it.
it's the whole dynamic changed, and I see it in the kids, and I definitely see it in myself as well. But what you say to yourself is definitely what you ooze and what you give out to.
100.
What about you? You're
Love
happy.
it,
You're
man.
happy.
Love
Happy
it,
go
love
lucky
it, love
person
it.
all the time.
I never used to be. You know that.
Yeah.
I never used to be at all.
So do you think there was a point in your life which
1,000,000%. I know exactly
you
when
can
it
track
was.
back?
I know exactly. I remember it happened, and I remember like I've never looked back from it. If that makes sense. Like something happened.
Yeah.
You guys know what happened anyway. Obviously, loss, and that happened, and I was even leading up to that. You know, I had like a little situation with some guys, and blah 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 blah, and all these things that happened when I was telling you guys about the stories. That was all happening when.
At the same time.
Yeah, I was attracting the bad energy. I was in that bad energy every day. I would dream and think about doing mad stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Not to myself, to other people. let's just get that.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
myself.
Yeah, you guys know. And it was a very dangerous time for me because I'm a very like I'm just gonna do it kind of person, and I'll handle consequences later, which is a very bad mixture sometimes. But anyways, and then that happened. We had the loss, and something just switched inside. I felt it. It was like this realization that we're not invincible, and life can be taken very quickly, and you have to make it as best as you can because tomorrow's not promised. And I think that just kind of like no one told me it, but I had to find it in me because otherwise, like I said, there's two roads it goes.
It's a left or a right.
And it really is that.
And it's funny because you say that, but you can see why like people go to drugs, people are homeless, things like that, because. And especially if you don't have like a support network, like we've always got each other's backs, you know what I mean? Like we always have these people around us, you know what I mean? Whereas if you don't come from that kind of like walk of life,
if you don't have that,
it's tough, like life's tough, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
We almost don't realise how
and we don't realise how lucky we are to have each other.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anything I'm going through, I can phone this guy's phone or just turn up his house. Do you know what I mean? Like, or just go to Iddies or anybody. Like just put to my mum's. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people don't have that.
No.
Don't have that. They're just there fighting fires by themselves daily. Do you know what I mean? Like the demons inside them, like telling them to do whatever. Like
and
you can see why people.
And on top of that, it's the abandonment because they
Yeah.
haven't come. They didn't grow themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? So regardless of what situation they're in, whatever it is, and people have done bad things, and they probably may have upset a couple of people, but there is a level of abandonment because there's no way that you're gonna be on your own if you have a family. Like, do you know what I'm saying? My brother's
could be blood or water.
Literally that. So man, I remember it, and do you know what else really, really helped with me? And I learned this myself again, music.
Yeah.
And you guys know I'm a music person anyway, and I was listening to just my gangster rap all the time.
Do you think the type of music you listen to as well influences
massively?
your
Oh, listen, I wake up, music. I get in the shower, music. And you know what music I listen to?
Yeah.
Like all the soul music, all that stuff it really just shaped and changed me in a way better way. Like I became, and I'm still trying to be a better person. But I know that was a key thing for me. It was the music part, and this is sometimes why when I got to like my little brothers and stuff, like, and it sounds old. You sound old when you say it.
You do sound
You
old.
sound
Yeah.
old. And
Yeah,
people
it's
tell me,
the
"Oh,
rubbish
Sean, you're
music."
old. Sean,
Yeah.
you're old." But I'm good with that because you don't understand that you're digesting.
Yeah.
Like you're always digesting.
We've walked through it.
Energy, everything,
Yeah.
every single food, people, music, all these things you are digesting. That is
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we're made to do. So if you're gonna listen to, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna sell this drugs, I'm gonna shoot all these people up 24/7.
Oh, for a while.
Your energy's not gonna be happy about everything in the world.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna listen to music of like, I just hate it and I hate my life and blah 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 blah. If you're listening to man, I mean Barry White, obviously, rest in peace, my G. Like, you know, I fell in love with this woman, or I want to try and be better, and I made a mistake, and all this stuff. Listen, yeah, man, it changes you. It does. It has. You have no choice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, music changed it for me, man. But anyways, last topic because I'm thinking about time, obviously, and you got to make sure you cut out those bits until. And this is quite a big topic. AI. And you know, the reason why I really want us to kind of, and we're gonna go, you know, it's not gonna be just one topic thing. I don't think, but you know, we have ChatGPT now, which is changing the game for everything, and people are now able to ask it to write essays.
Yeah.
And do all these other things. And I was having this conversation again with someone, and this is where I get my ideas from. I was like, where's the line with it? And what I mean by that is this: if I say ChatGPT, draw me an amazing picture, paint of my house, and then I sell that, is it mine?
No,
Why is it not mine?
because you asked the AI to do it.
But it's a one-of-one, and it's one that I made it create.
Yeah, but you still asked it.
So this is my
So
question.
my thing is because you asked the question is, can you do this?
Yeah.
I think that takes.
Do it for me, whichever one.
I think that takes ownership of it being you, even though it's an AI that's one. Yeah.
So what if, yeah, I'm really playing devil's advocate. AI can do voices, and AI does your voice, and it does you chatting some madness, some real madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you get in trouble, or just
Did
the
I
AI?
create it, or someone used it?
Either one.
Can we prove that AI?
What
It's
I'm
not.
trying to say is this: can you sue
AI.
the AI?
I can see the company that's,
But the AI made it. The AI's done it. It's not them.
but there's a creator, isn't there?
And let's say you can never find that person.
Oh.
Let's just say.
You're just gonna take it
For
on the
argument's
chin,
sake.
as long as I'm not going in jail. As long as I can prove that it wasn't me.
But how?
What do you mean?
How can you prove it wasn't you? If it's just like a recording, that's just my point.
Yeah.
If it's just a recording,
Of a voice.
yeah, and it's your voice,
Yeah.
and
Then
you and
there
it's you chatting the madness, and you're saying some
I think-
crazy shit.
I think. Yeah. See, that is it's proper grey area. I think if you knew me, people that
I
know
hear
you,
I
like
hear
your
it.
family and things like that, you could go to them and say that wasn't me. Like I don't know what that was, and you could probably think
Character reference.
character reference. But if that appeared on social media, for the Joey across the world, across the pond who don't know me, he's gonna say, yeah, this guy's a madman. You know what I mean? So
But could you? Because if someone came to me with a recording of either of you talking or
Yeah.
a family member, regardless of how much I think I know that person, that's their voice.
yeah. But then if I came and sat down with you next to me and said, that's it, I don't know that recording. I think someone done an AI thing on me, like. And you
And
know
trust
of
it.
you know
Yeah.
of AIs and
Yeah.
things like that. We're having this conversation,
I
so
would-
you know it's a
yeah.
possible thing. And I was like, I would never
I would
hand
do
on
that,
heart.
yeah.
I would never do that. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, that I get.
And that's only because of character reference.
Okay.
That's
But
mad.
if some random guy out there
Heard-
had come in and sat down next to you,
Yeah.
he's like, hey, it wasn't me. Yeah. Even I might have moved.
That's
Because-
hard.
and-
It'll
and-
get you
and-
second think. It'll get you. It'll
Oh,
get you
well,
guess,
listen.
second guess.
Even the
course.
person you love the most, like,
Yeah, I'll be like,
my mum, I'm like, mum, you're right.
Yeah.
Or even the first time I heard it, before you've come and sat next to me and been like, Sim, that's something. I'd be like, Trial's moving mad. What is he saying right now?
There was another person that I spoke to, and he was saying that his daughter's at uni. Long story short, she went out partying too much and she had to do an essay. And this is a true story. And basically, they asked the AI to create this essay, and then they had like a 2-page essay, and they maybe took a few bits out and made it their thing. So, again, is that plagiarism?
It has to be, right?
You see
No,
where
it
I'm
has
going
to
with
be.
this? Why
Yeah.
is that?
She didn't write that. She didn't write
But
that.
it's the one that she created.
She didn't create it. AI created it.
But she got AI to create it.
But
You see what I'm
Yeah.
doing, Cindy?
And also, as long as she didn't take it word for word, like
It's
she took
actually
the bit and
not
copied
the
and pasted it and slapped it in.
Right.
That's
So
it.
she's
But
changed a few
because
words.
it's like
Yeah, she put
we went to
a name on it.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But we went to college. We all, copy and paste a couple of lines, change it to a little
Yeah.
sentence to make
Yeah.
it my sentence. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. So we've all done
we've
it.
all done it. Everybody's plagiarised. There's no one in you know what I mean?
Okay, so what if she didn't? And it was just, and again, this is one of
And she
one.
just slapped their name on
She
it.
just slapped her name on it.
Can they prove it?
Can you prove it? Can you?
These are all the things.
able to prove it now?
They're
gonna have to be able to start.
How can you right now? How can you really
You can't,
truly?
yeah, because if she
How can
if she
you?
copied and pasted it and pulled it off, or even they.
How
Now,
can
do you know what it is? You actually can't because imagine.
I know.
So imagine.
I know.
Hear me out. Imagine
Say that.
Imagine
I want you guys
imagine
to
the
hear that.
AI slapped it out now, yeah.
Yeah.
And then on a different laptop, she wrote it out on her own laptop. Click,
Yeah,
click,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Right,
she's
okay.
there's not even a copy and paste. So she
No.
doesn't. There's no track record of her
No.
taking it from this
No.
Word document to that word. She just clicked it out all her own work. There's no way you could. prove
How
it.
does AI work? Can you say to AI, have you ever created this essay? Or is it just create me an essay?
I think you have to sometimes ask questions through
But
questions.
that's mad because.
But it has happened. People have done this. This is a thing, obviously now.
Hey, listen.
Like,
Can we even
Take your
allow
win, man.
this?
I take your win.
it's mad, right?
I would do that.
It's mad.
I would do it.
It's
Oh,
mad.
I would do
I
it.
would do it. Ethically, it's wrong, but would you do it?
We'll cut that bit out.
Hey, some people are gonna start doing proposals. Wedding proposal. Yeah, ChatGPT, write me a wedding
Yeah.
proposal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey.
Write me a speech.
Hey, AI,
Write me the speech.
Write me my best
Yeah.
man speech, man.
Like it's anyway. So
That's
the
mad.
conversation it got real deep, real deep, and we were talking about that, and we were talking about obviously technology now, like it has to keep evolving. That's what it's been doing, right? And I don't know if you've seen, there was a guy that was on the stage recently, and he was basically explaining how like a mobile is pretty much done now. Like let's be honest. They've been the same. The cameras changed a couple of times, but they're all the same kind of speed, the same kind of thing. So he was basically saying that the next thing now is to really have like something that we can like look at and it's more connected to us. I mean, Elon Musk has been on about putting like a link in your head for a long time that connects to your brain and connects to all these things. We haven't got enough time. It's going to be another episode. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So when that stuff starts happening, because it will, and it already has begun to, there's two things to think about, maybe three. Yeah. Do you remember? Because we've got ChatGPT now. If this thing's connected to your brain, would you then be able to upload stuff to yourself to learn? That's what we were talking about. Like if you wanted to, I want to learn how to. I want to learn how to. I'm gonna say one, and you're gonna remember it. I want to learn kung fu. What did Neo do when he was in the Matrix? Do you remember?
But also, I just went back to a Black Mirror episode
Oh,
of the pictures.
Yes.
And they're like, where were you at this time? And they were like, I'm at home.
Your island.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to scroll
Rewind
back.
it. Rewind it.
And they
You can see
literally on
it.
a screen take you back to this time and date. Yeah, okay, you're at home.
Black Mirror's been ahead of the game.
From your head. And
I need to watch it. I need to watch
Oh,
it.
listen, it's been ahead of, and that episode was probably like 10 years old.
Yeah.
No joke.
But
And that's
well,
how it's
but
done.
they're gonna start obviously downloading AIs into like robots and stuff like that, and they have their own. You watch iRobot. I always remember iRobot as like it was one of the first movies. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
so good,
Yeah.
such a good movie. Again, so far ahead of its
Yeah,
time,
time.
yeah. And like because obviously that guy he hated
Will Smith.
he hated
Robots.
and the AI and stuff like that. But that movie was so good for like
So good.
Do you think
understanding the AI's
Do you
process
think
of
it
thinking and
needed to
stuff.
be so far in advance? Where if they released a movie like that now, we'd be like, that's happening. Or like,
But I
that's,
just think-
that's
I just
Or
think-
was it in advance to condition us to what was coming?
What's coming?
Yeah.
Because I think, if they release that now, I'd be like, nah.
it's here.
It is, I'm
really,
like,
it's
nah.
happening.
Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we've got AI.
Whereas,
yeah.
because I was maybe I was obviously at you, and then I was like, bro, this is sick.
It doesn't also make
Man's chasing AI.
Yeah.
Simi,
How
do you-
long have they?
No.
How long has this been?
Simi,
on?
remember this episode, and this is gonna blow your head right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember the episode of Black Mirror?
Yeah.
Where there's a couple and the guy dies, and she's struggling, and one of her friends say to her, "There's a service that can get you to speak to him."
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what have we been talking about?
Yeah.
There's a
That's what we
service. A guy dies, and this woman says that there's a service now that you can get, and you can just talk to him on the phone.
Yeah.
All you need to do is upload all of his stuff on
Yeah.
like Instagram, so we can understand how he talks, what's his lingo, what's
Yeah.
his jokes,
Do it for you.
and
The
then
way he
AI will
talks.
create it.
Yeah.
That's mad.
And then she speaks to him.
And then couldn't you get the?
That's the next part.
Okay.
That's the next part. But we'll get into that because I think
But-
we should.
but-
we might end it here. I don't know.
Okay.
We can go on.
But
We
you
can
know
keep
what?
going.
All the movies nowadays are like on the same thing. Are all about cloning as well.
Yep.
Like I watched Avatar the other day, and they downloaded the brother's memories and put it in one of the Avatar things. I watched something else the other day. Oh, I was watching Mandalorian, and he was creating his own. Obviously, they have a clone army in
Yes.
this thing, but he was creating
His own.
his own thing. So they look exactly like him, and he was downloading them, keeping them in Cairo, like, and then ready for when he
Well,
dies.
technically,
Straight into the next one.
technically, like if our brain and everything is kind of like its own kind of data, why couldn't you?
Well, just-
Like if you had something that could like just soak up and understand about
But
who
my
you
question is,
what
are they
your
already
personality is.
starting to do that with people?
Maybe we have to find out for the next episode. Man. That's what I'm saying. That's another
That's
another
another
conversation.
conversation.
So it's a big one. It's a big one. But listen, thank you again for tuning in. Thank you, Wanda, Simi, Bilal. Thank you as well. And yeah, I hope to see you guys on the next episode.